Kayla here again today. I'm just showing you the sketch that I'm working with for this week's Jana and Kayla challenge. This is based upon a sketch that we chose. It's a very different sketch. It's a sort of lots of paper strips on an angle. It is an 8.5 by 11 inch sketch, but I've decided to do it 12 by 12 simply because I had the 3 photos and I am not like a normal, when I say normal, I don't do 8.5 by 11 very often, so it's not a traditional size for me, so I would struggle to do. Oh my goodness, you're going to be able to hear my son. I've just shut the door so that I can do a voiceover, so if you hear banging, it's him banging on the door. Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm using the Crepe Paper Little U collection and I'm cutting strips. Now, it was really hard for me because this is a collection I haven't cut into yet and I love it so much that I struggle to cut it. But I cut it and I thought it's better. Oh, if you see me moving things across the table, it's because my son was colouring in beside me and he's 2, so he grabs everything that he's not supposed to have. So I have to multitask, can you hear him? Film a video while confiscating things that he shouldn't have. So it's very stressful at times to get scrapbooking done, but that's okay. I should change my name. All I can hear is Mum, Mum. Welcome to some crazy voiceovers with Kayla. Now, I absolutely love that star pattern. It's so gorgeous. I think it's the reverse. I can't remember which reverse it's of. Oh, yeah, it's the reverse with those little, they're like those animal crackers. Yeah, I super love that paper. And the clouds. Oh, I love the clouds. And I don't think I can even get this collection anywhere in Australia now. It's all sold out. And I really want more papers because I only bought 2 of each, and it was around the time that American Crafts had that big issue with the warehouse, and it was really hard to get. But now I've got enough strips because I didn't want to go all the way up the page. I'm adhering them down with my ATG gun, and then I'm going to sew, and I don't film all the sewing because it just took ages. I did a zigzag stitch and I actually had it on the wrong zigzag but decided to keep it that way, and it just took forever, so I only filmed a little bit of it. But yeah, I adhered that one in the wrong place, so I moved it down, and it was still in the wrong place because, yeah, there was not, it didn't cover up all that spacing which you'll be able to see. So I had to move it again, but that's alright. It did rip a little bit. You guys are going to think I live in a nut house. Honestly, it's just my 2-year-old. Now I'm just going to cut off that excess paper on the side there, and then the other side, and then it's pretty much time for sewing. My autofocus goes crazy when I move around. I need to figure out how to sort of fix that, whether I put it on manual focus or whether that's going to be really weird. So for those that are wondering, I have a really cheap sewing machine. It was like literally $20 at my Spotlight, and it's really only going to be good for paper sewing, but it works fine. It's tiny, it sits on my desk, and it honestly looks just like my other sewing machine I did have that broke. That was more expensive, so the stitching, to be honest, looks the same. So I really don't mind. I don't care so much that it's a cheap sewing machine. I don't ever plan on sewing on fabric because I suck at sewing. So this is absolutely fine for me. It gets the job done. So now I think I sewed 2 paper strips and then decided that maybe I probably shouldn't film at all because that would just be taking forever. So yeah, you only get the joys of watching me sew 2 of the paper strips, and then we skip to being done. And I've ruffled up the edges of the sewn strips and added a doily, and I'm using these super cute pictures of my son in the bath. I can't actually remember when they were taken. He might have been roughly about 2. I think they were taken roughly 6 months ago. And yeah, so I wanted to get these photos scrapbooked because I think they're super cute. I love bath photos. I've got so many cute bath photos of Elijah. And I know that he can't run away because he's in the bath, so he has to have his picture taken. no choice. But this is a little gremlin that you can hear in the background at the moment, and I think he just got told off by his nan. Or he's looking at the door because I won't let him in. But filming a voiceover while trying to control my 2-year-old would be a nightmare. Yeah, so I'm just mounting the photos on this star paper. I didn't mean to mount the one that was going on the doily. I just got distracted, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. It looks fine mounted. I love photos with a white border, and this wasn't white, but it matched perfectly fine, and it still gives them that little bit of a border to work with. So I'm happy with that. And then I cut that little photo down the bottom down a little bit, so that it was a bit more of a square, just because I already had the 2 3x4 papers and two 3x4 photos, sorry, and I didn't think I needed another one. So then I've got putting the gold glittered frame on top of that focal photo that I wanted to use, and just sitting over the top. It doesn't matter to me that it doesn't cover the whole photo. I'm totally fine with that. And then I wanted to use this cut down bit of vellum from the paper, the little U collection, because it's really cute, and I popped some glue just behind the gold foiled bits, but that wasn't enough to keep it down in the end. I had to use my tiny attacher just to staple it down, otherwise it wouldn't have stayed there. So I know that I cut the edges, and when I flipped it over it had fallen off, so I ended up using my tiny attacher. Vellum can be a real pain to adhere, so I just did my best. But yeah, tiny attachers generally work great if you can use one. This is when I give in and staple it. And I know that it will stay, so that's fine. This layout came together really quickly. Like, I sped it up my usual speed, and it was only going to be a 6-minute video, so I slowed it down a little bit to give you a better look at what I was doing rather than being so fast, because usually my layouts take forever. But I used pretty much entirely the little U collection, so it wasn't that hard because I had the whole collection in front of me, and I just picked up bits that I wanted to use. So I've used bits from the die cut pack and the chipboard pack, and obviously the vellum and the paper, but there's lots of little bits. I just love it. And that label, they're from the Pink Paisley Memorandum Collection. There was a paper full of labels, and I just sat there, got 2 pieces of it, and cut out all of the labels one day, because I love them. They're perfect for adding journaling or dates or whatever you want to add. I think on this page I ended up adding some stamps from I think it's an Amy Tangerine roller stamp or a Chanel one, I can't remember. I think it's Amy Tam. So now I'm just adding one of the acetate pieces, a wood veneer heart, and a die cut on top of there. So I'm just focusing on my 3 clusters. I love that I have 3 photos because I usually work in clusters of 3. My son's going to bash that door down in a second. And then I loved this little fox clip and needed to add it. I just loved it so much. So I added that on top of I was going to put it in the middle on the middle photo, but then I decided it didn't look quite right. So I popped it on that left hand side photo. And then I've got the wood veneer star. I love those open, I don't know what they're called, those open stars. Okay, my son is down here now. So if you hear talking and carrying on, it's my son. There we go. Mom. Yes, darling, I'm filming a video. So I'm just using some stickers from the sticker sheet, or phrase and accent sticker sheet, whatever they call it, and I have this baby one. I actually ended up putting it where I had it at the beginning, and I tend to do that. I like where I put it at first, but then I move it around anyway, and then put it back where I originally wanted it. So whatever works. And then they had these gorgeous wooden buttons and enamel dots from the collection. So I added the little fox because he's cute and he matches the paperclip. And then I'm adding some of the enamel dots to my 3 clusters. I think that I'm almost finished. as crazy as that sounds. I love that I was working from a sketch because it gave me a really good base to work from, and I didn't have to think too much. So now I'm doing my roller stamp with some Stays on ink onto the label down there, and it just says fun stuff. And then I think I add XO, I think. Yeah. So I love using that. I'm not sure. I think, yep, adding some Heidi Shine. Well, you can't have a page complete without some Heidi Shine. So I add some. I think I don't know if I add it on film or not. I added some and then I decided it wasn't enough. I did get some on his face, but it can't. The gold Heidi Shine comes off really easy if you get it right away. So that was fine. Yeah, now adding a title. So I'm going to spell bath time. And these are the thickers that come with the little U collection, and so they come with a lowercase, like not a lowercase, they're all uppercase, but they're small and big. So I alternated between small and big to spell out bath time, and I love how that turned out. I really like different sized fonts. I love how that looks, so I'm happy with that. Now I think I had to move it about here because the E wouldn't fit, so I moved the bath up and that looks great. So I think I'm done. Anyway, I really hope that you have been enjoying this series that Jana and I have been doing. I've been really enjoying getting some pages done because it's actually forcing me to be creative, and I often don't have mojo, so having a challenge is really inspiring. So I hope that we have been inspiring you to get your stuff out and get creative, because I know that it's been doing that for me and it's been really fun. So next week we have a different challenge coming up with a different theme, and then we'll be rotating that every 4 weeks, so you'll get a video every Friday. So I hope you've enjoyed this page, and I look forward to showing you next week's page. Bye!